Well, welcome to the co-location of the Indiana School for the Deaf and the Indiana School for the Blind and Visually Impaired groundbreaking ceremony. We are so excited that each of you are here today as we celebrate starting this very transformative project. My name is Dr. Rebecca Halverda, and I have the privilege of serving as the Commissioner of the Indiana Department of Administration. And we are celebrating years of work today that are finally becoming a reality. It definitely takes a team to bring a project of this magnitude to life. So I would like to acknowledge several partners we have in attendance today. As I say your name, please stand or wave your hand so that we can honor you, and then at the end, we will give a round of applause. I feel like that's the appropriate thing to say since we are doing celebrating two schools. So our owner's rep is Veritas, David Rainey and Rick Rush. Our design team from Ratio, Bill Brown, Rob Proctor, Emily DeSmith. From Turner Construction, Sam Sharp, Tim Crockford. Our consultants, Chris Downey and John Dickinson. Our project management team from the Department of Administration, Brian Renner, Bob Grossman, Carl Brown, Carol French, Matt Kent. From American Structure Point, Brandon Farley. And from Envelope IQ Low Voltage, Matt Isbell. We do have 3 state legislators in attendance today, Senator Fatty Cadora, Representative Ed Delaney, and Senator Liz Brown. Individuals who have worked tirelessly to see this project come to life from the Indiana School for the Blind and Visually Impaired and the Indiana School for the Deaf. Superintendent James Durst, Jason Askren, Tara Burchett, Jay Wilson, Superintendent David Giesland, Jeremy Hawk, Kim Cause, and Matt Kruger. Let's give them all a round of applause and thank you each for your contribution. Without strong business partners, particularly like the next speaker, we could not do what we do as a state. He is a pillar in our community. His steadfast leadership over the years has made a lasting impact on our state and the city of Indianapolis. To give you a history and a description of this project, I would like to introduce the principal and CEO of Ratio, Bill Brown.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for that kind introduction. This is indeed a very exciting day for the Indiana School for the Blind and the Visually Impaired, as well as the Indiana School for the Deaf. This new project will bring both of those schools together onto one campus. Established in 1847, the first location for the School for the Blind was downtown on North Street, where the American Legion Mall sits today. It was relocated here in 1930, and similarly, established in 1846, the School for the Deaf, originally known as the Willard School, had several locations throughout the city before being placed on 42nd Street, just north of the Indiana State Fair, where it has existed since 1911. When the state legislature decided to investigate the possibility of co-locating both schools onto a single campus, a feasibility study was conducted by the design team of Ratio and American Structure Point, and we evaluated many locations, including the current campus of the School for the Deaf. After much study and careful planning, it became evident that this location here could in fact accommodate both schools in a very appropriate and collaborative manner. In approaching the design of the co-location project, as the governor's office has affectionately named this project, we first assessed the existing buildings and the site to fully understand this truly magical place. The rolling forested site with its bluff overlooking Williams Creek to your right is an idyllic place for a school and a residential campus. This was clearly understood when the first buildings were designed and erected in 1930 by the architects Harrison and Turnock. The architects placed the administration building just behind me here at the prow of the bluff with its bell tower as the landmark element of the composition. Designed in the collegiate Gothic style, these wonderful brick buildings have stood the test of time, and several of the most architecturally significant buildings will remain as the centerpiece of the new campus. Access to the site will be accomplished through the separation of different users, unlike today. Parents and visitors of both schools will enter the site via a new gateway, just entry further south along College Avenue, which will cross Williams Creek, and then have the opportunity to turn north and come up the bluff for a drop-off, or continue to the east to the athletic fields, and ultimately to a primary student and faculty walking path that'll find its way up the bluff as well. The numerous student buses will enter separately through the existing college entry that you all came in, making their way along the north end of the property and to a drop-off adjacent to both an academic building and a student residence hall. Staff and service access will be through the existing entrance on 75th Street to the various surface parking lots, as well as the main dining hall and services building. The existing Signature Administration Building, with its bell tower and adjoining wings, will be renovated and repurposed as the new campus center. The existing auditorium will be reworked to better accommodate students gathering from both schools. The West Wing will be the location for the parent and visitor drop-off, as well as access to the IERC facility, and the East Wing will be repurposed for the library and media center. The Apple Tunnel and Gateway art structure, just immediately to your right, still used as storage and a storm shelter, will remain in the design and be combined with various walking paths. In the true spirit of collaboration, a new academic building will be constructed as the centerpiece of the main academic quadrangle just north of the historic administration building. We plan on designing each school with its own main entry. The academic building will be designed to allow flexibility in the future so that as the schools change in size, the classrooms can be adapted from one school to the next. The academic building will also house separate elementary gymnasiums for each school, and a covered colonnade tucked into the base of the building will allow students to be protected and guide them around the perimeter of the quadrangle and move towards the adjacent field house. Similarly, a new student residence hall will be constructed for both schools in the quiet northeast corner of the site. A new field house will be constructed that will include 2 high school gymnasiums, a small safety training therapy swimming pool, along with the requisite locker and toilet facilities. The existing natatorium structure will be converted into a new dining hall, which will include separate dining rooms for each school. The athletic fields will include a new track and athletic infield, a new baseball diamond, and a new softball diamond. These will be located in the open southern portion of the site. And then rounding out the eastern portion of the campus will be a new service building and a new greenhouse, as well as a new tree farm, likely placed in the southwest portion of the site. 3 of the existing historic structures, the former superintendent's building, the former laundry building, and the former powerhouse, will remain for future reuse as the schools evolve. There is much design and construction work yet to be completed before the schools reopen in 2028, but the journey continues today with this groundbreaking. I would like to thank our key partners on the project, American Structure Point, represented here today by Mike Castor and Brandon Farley, as well as much gratitude to Introva Engineering, represented by Scott Etheridge and Jeff Crawford, and I think Chris Hawk is here as well. And want to give wonderful gratitude to our 2 very talented design consultants that Rebecca mentioned, Mr. John Dickerson and Mr. Chris Downey, both who've been incredibly invaluable with the programming and design of the campus. John, as a deaf architect, and Chris, as a blind architect, have provided the design team with an understanding and appreciation of the students' unique needs that would not have been possible without them. I also want to recognize our construction partner, Turner Davis Construction, who has been in lockstep with us as we conceived and evolved this project. Lastly, knowing that I cannot possibly identify everyone involved, I would like to at least recognize a few members of the ratio team, which include my partner, Rob Proctor, our project manager, Emily DeSmith, our campus designer and principal, Tom Gallagher, and my interior design partner, Sim Neighbors. The project has engaged the design services of over 30 consultants and over 120 personnel, and I want to thank all of them for their continued involvement in the project in the years ahead. It has been a true pleasure to collaborate with Jim Durst and David Giesland in the planning of the schools, and we look forward to working with James Michael in his new role taking over for Jim. Thank you, Commissioner Rebecca Holwerder and IDOA for having the confidence to engage us as the design team for this very meaningful campus project will serve students and families for decades to come. Thank you. And David, I think you are up.
Greetings, everyone. This is such a historic moment today, and we are all here in this together to look around this historic campus, at the buildings, and without the governor's support and the legislators' support, this project would have never happened. The support that they're showing to the disabled community through this is phenomenal. It's been empowering to see how the governor has supported our community, and I'd like to share a bit about what I've seen through his years of leadership. The support that he provided to our disabled community has been phenomenal. When the COVID-19 pandemic happened, he immediately made sure that an ASL interpreter was in close proximity of any addresses that he made to the public. He made accessible all of this critical information that our community needed to have access to make sure that we could participate and be partners in keeping all of our communities safe. That continued as well through the establishment of this project. I want to say thank you to the Commissioner, Dr. Holwerder, and her support from the IDOA. She has allowed me as a deaf leader, as the superintendent of our school, to participate, as well as Superintendent Durst from ISD to be equal partners in this project. Not only that, but she has shown her support to our community by hiring John Dickinson from Dickinson's Partners, as well as Chris Downey from Arch for Blind as consultants on this project. And that just has meant a tremendous amount to us and to our children, because that has allowed them to look up to this leadership and know that there are no limits put on them. And I hope that throughout this whole process, there will be deaf and blind individuals that are engaged as employees in creating this new campus. It's exciting to see this new chapter that's looming in the future for us with the new superintendent from ISDVI, who is the first blind superintendent, which is so exciting. I'm the third deaf superintendent of Indiana School for the Deaf, so congratulations to Superintendent Michaels as well, and I know that we will continue to inspire our students to know that they can do anything. Through our leadership, they'll see they could become an architect, they could become a superintendent, they could become the next governor. There are no limits put on them. Again, I just want to say thank you to the community as well. You all have had such an important role. I can't name all the individuals that have been a part of this project, but I'm so thankful for you all making this possible for myself and Superintendent Durst. to make sure that we can align with the current pedagogy for teaching deaf and blind children. Thank you so much.
Good morning. The Indiana School for the Blind and Visually Impaired and the Indiana School for the Deaf are two of the largest schools in the country serving students who are blind or have low vision, or students who are deaf and hard of hearing. We've enjoyed a reputation of providing quality educational experiences and opportunities for our students that we have served for almost 2 centuries. Governor Holcomb, thank you for the commitment that you have made to our schools and our constituents to continue to provide for the unique needs of our students well into the future with this co-located campus. I also wish to express my gratitude to the state legislature and to state government agencies and individuals for communicating that Indiana values what our schools provide and values the communities we serve and the communities we are a part of.
I don't know what number speaker I am, but there's a lot of shovels over there, so I think that we're getting near to turning some dirt, so I won't hold this up for very long. But I did want to also pile on my praise to everyone that had a hand or a shoulder getting us to this beautiful day. And Commissioner, we've been seeing a lot of each other lately. That's a good thing. We've been dusting off a lot of blueprints that were for maybe years and years and years gathering dust. They were conversations that we have had going back to the 80s, the 90s, and as Bill pointed out, some of these facilities dating back to the turn of the century, and not this century, but last century. So it is exciting to think about fixing the roof while the sun is shining, really carpe diem, seizing the day while we can. And we can. And only because of teamwork. And Kim, you just personify this. And the word, Bill used it a couple times, collaborative, is you are a collaborator extraordinaire. And this project simply wouldn't have happened right now without you. And making sure that so many people got on the same page in this unique moment of time. As our economy grows, we get to the legislature, whatever governor may be there, we get to make decisions and allocate funding toward priorities. And what I'm particularly proud of is we have been investing or reinvesting in our people and our places. This project does both. This is win-win. And when you think about where we were 10 years ago and where we are, what we're doing today, can't wait for 10 years from now to come back on this campus to see what has flourished because of how people came together. So I too want to especially thank the legislature. Is providing the certainty and the stability and the continuity over the years to allow us to take on so many projects simultaneously around the state. I think about, Bill, when you were talking about the turn of the century, or 1847, I think you threw out there, to think about the armories that we're replacing with world-class facilities that resonate with the mission of today. When I think about the rest stops and the welcoming centers that are thematically being built, tethered to what the theme of the region of the state of Indiana is, truly welcoming places. I think about the newest state park lodge. Last state park lodge we built was in 1939. Now we add one at Potato Creek, and I think about the archives building, replacing a building that had a leaking roof on state documents that the public wants to come review and learn from, where we come from. I think about co-locating another facility, 2 prisons, Westville and Michigan City, into one, a co-location theme out of many, one, and you become stronger for it. So it's no small feat to say we're going to take on so many different projects all at once, to modernize, to really build something special, something that is world-class, something that is state-of-the-art, something that will, I think it's too much of a stretch to say, become the envy of the nation. Until you will have people come through here and learn how it's done the right way, so that our kiddos that are coming through, working their way up, can get their ticket to success punched. Get it punched right here in our neighborhood. So good things tend to happen when we come together, just like these 2 schools are coming together. I'm just so proud to be a part of it in this moment of history. We hear words like historic and unprecedented, and records, those words get thrown out there loosely sometimes. But we will all remember where we were on this day, this groundbreaking day. When that ribbon is cut and those smiling faces are walking in and out of off this campus, we'll know just how much it was worth it. That's the true ROI. It is goosebumps cool. So with that, I don't want to hold us up from turning dirt. We just completed I-69, and that required a lot of patience from a lot of people. It still will. And I just appreciate all the patience that it took on behalf of you all who are here that have been pushing for this project to come to fruition and become a reality. So thank you for your patience, and here we go. Thank you.
The moment we've all been waiting for the construction project signal, we are officially starting. So we'll do the groundbreaking right on this side. So if everyone could make their way, that would be great. Thank you so much for coming today.